Sai Ram students. So students, my name is Vinaya Naik and I am going to teach you the subject science. So students, today we are going to start with chapter 1, that is the living world, adaptations and classification. Right? So what is living world? So all those things which are living in this world, right? So as you all know that there are living things as well as non-living things, right? So today we are going to see about the adaptations and their classification of the living things. Now children, we are going to see about the diversity in the plants. So in the living things there is lot of diversity, right? There is a change in the shape, there is change in size, color and structure of the body, right? So in the plants and animals also there you can see a lot of diversity, right? So if you see, there are flowering plants as well as non-flowering plants. So you all know flowering plants means those which bear flowers, and non-flowering plants are those which do not bear flowers, right? Then there are some plants which grow in water, some plants they grow in deserts, and some plants they grow in the snowy regions. Then there are microscopic plants, right? Those plants which you can see only under the microscope. Also there are also huge plants, there are some small plants. So there is different types in the plants also, right? So now children, if you see in Kashmir, you can see the coniferous trees like deodar and pine, right? You can see those trees only in the snowy regions like in Kashmir, right? Because it is adapted to that climatic condition. Whereas in Rajasthan, where it is a desert area, there you can see the cactus plant, right? So depending now Kashmir is a cold region and Rajasthan which is a desert, there is a very hot climate. So depending upon these climatic conditions, the plants grow over there, right? Now we'll see about the diversity in animals. Now in animals also there are different types of animals, right? Unicellular animals, you have already learned that it is a single celled organism, right, which contains only a single cell. And multicellular means which contains many cells, right? Now invertebrates and vertebrates. So vertebrate animals are those which have a vertebral column, that means they have a backbone, and invertebrates are those which do not have a vertebral column, that means they do not have a backbone. Also there are aquatic animals. Aquatic animals means those which live in water. There are terrestrial animals which live on land, amphibian animals which live in land as well as in water. Reptilians are those which are reptiles, and aerials are those birds which can fly in the sky. So you can see there is diversity in the animals too, like the plants. Now children, in Kashmir, that is in the snowy region, if you see, there are different types of animals, like it is yak, which has got quite thick fur because it can adapt to that snowy region, right, because of the thick fur which is there on their body. Whereas if you take the example in Rajasthan, you can see the desert animal, that is the camel, right? So camel cannot withstand the cold snowy region which is in Kashmir. So depending upon the climatic conditions, there are diversity in animals too. So children, as I told you, there is a diversity in animals, there is a diversity in plants too. So depending upon the climatic conditions, there is you can see different types of plants and different types of animals depending upon that region. Now what do you mean by adaptation, right? So gradual changes occur in the body parts and also in the behavior of the organisms which help them to adjust to their surroundings. Such changes are called as adaptation. Now children, this is the definition of adaptation which you have to learn it as it is, right? So gradual changes occur in the body parts. So in the body parts, slowly some changes occur, and also in the behavior of the organism. right? Also in the behavior there are some changes, and these two changes which is there in the body part as well as in the organism, it helps them to adjust to the surroundings. Whatever climatic conditions are there around them, it helps to adjust them, and such changes, they are called as adaptation. Now we'll see about the adaptation in aquatic plants. So as I told you children, aquatic plants means plants those which grow in water. Now here you can see this is a lotus, right? The lotus plant which is in water. So what happens? Firmly rooted in the soil and submerged stems, right? So its roots they are tightly in the soil, right? And the stems also, they are submerged, means half is in water and half stem is above the water. Some plants, they entirely afloat with floating roots, while some submerged in the water. So some plants are there whose roots, they are entirely in water, right? And some plants are there whose roots are there in the water, whereas the plant is floating in the water, right? Stems and petioles are soft and flexible. Leaves and flowers float on water. Some plants have thin ribbon-shaped slender leaves. This is an adaptation to withstand the fast currents of water. So there are some stems and petioles which are very soft, right? They are very soft and flexible, right? So what happens, also there are some leaves and flowers which float on the water. So as I showed you the picture of the lotus plant, right? The flower and the leaf both are floating on water, right? If you can see here, the flower and the leaf both are floating on the water. Now some plants, they have got leaves which are very slender, right? Slender means they are very thin, like your ribbon shape, right? So why they are slender? Because they can, whatever fast currents of water when it is there, it can stand firmly in that water. So that's the reason they have got thin ribbon shaped slender leaves. So this is about the adaptation in the aquatic plants. Leaves and stems coated with waxy layer and air spaces inside the stem and leaves, adapted for floating. So now if you see the example of the lotus plant, right? Now if you see this leaves, they have got a waxy layer on the leaves. So what happens, the water which is there, it will not accumulate on that leaf, right? It will go away. So because of the waxy layer which is present on the leaves. Similarly, if you can take the example of colocasia leaves, this is nothing but your adu, right? So this also leaf, you can see the water does not stay on it because of the waxy layer which is present on it. Also there are, in the stems and the leaves of these plants, there are some air spaces inside it. So these are because so that whatever, I mean, when they are floating in water, they can stand still. So these are the reasons they can stand still in water, because of the air spaces which are present inside the stem and the leaves, right? And water does not get accumulated because of the waxy layer present on the leaves. Now this is the colocasia leaf. If you can see, this is the water droplet which is over here. So all the water does not get accumulated on this colocasia leaf. Now we are going to see about the adaptation in desert plants. So as you all know, cactus, this plant, it grows in deserts. Leafless or leaves like small needles. Some leaves seem to be modified into thorns for conserving water. Now children, this cactus plant, you can see it has got small needles on it, right? And these leaves, they have been modified into thorns. So what is the function of these thorns? So that it can conserve water, it can store water inside it. And you all know children that desert area is very hot, so lot of water you need lot of water over there, right? And Now this function of this plant is that because of these thorns it loses very little water, which is lost because of evaporation. Now the stems, they are fleshy as water and food is stored in them, right? So if you take the stem and if you cut it, you can see it has got a fleshy part because water and food is stored in that stems, right? Modified stems perform photosynthesis and hence are green, right? So these stems, they are green in color and they can perform the process of photosynthesis. As you all know that the plants which are green in color, since the chlorophyll is present in it, that's why that plant, it can perform the process of photosynthesis. Now here the stems are green in color, but also it can perform the process of photosynthesis. Thorn like leaves, they do not perform the photosynthesis, right? Here the stems are performing the process of photosynthesis. Deeply penetrating roots that search the water and thick layer of a waxy substance on the stems. Now the roots which are there, it gets deeply penetrated, right? And it searches water underground, and also there is a waxy layer on these stems also, right? So adaptation in desert plants is that the stems, they can perform the process of photosynthesis, and the stems, they have got a waxy layer on the substance, and the roots which are there, it is deeply penetrated inside so that it can absorb water underground. So children, let's recap what we have learnt in today's session. So we saw, children, about the diversity in living things. So diversity means there are changes in the shape, structure, size, in the body shape, right? So we saw about the diversity in plants, right? There are flowering and non-flowering plants. Then some plants, they grow in water, some grow in snowy regions, some grow in deserts. Then there are some plants which are huge, some grow in which can be observed under only microscope. Then we saw about the diversity in animals, unicellular animals, multicellular animals, vertebrates and invertebrates. Then animals which are on land, then amphibians, terrestrial, aquatic, then your reptilian and aerial, right? Then children, we took the example of adaptation in aquatic plants. So the plants which grow in water, right, they have got thin, slender, like ribbon shaped stems, right, so that they can withstand the fast currents of water. Then the stem and the air spaces and the petioles, they have got air spaces inside them, right? And there are waxy layer present on the leaves, so that the water does not get accumulated on it. Then children, we saw about the adaptation in the desert plants. So the plants which grow in deserts, their stems, they can perform the process of photosynthesis as they are green in color, right? The leaves which are the thorn like leaves, they do not perform the process of photosynthesis. Then the roots which are there, it is deeply penetrated, it goes penetrated deep inside in search of water. Also there is a waxy layer present on the stems of these plants, right? And then children, we took the examples of the plants which are growing in snowy regions. You cannot find out these plants in the desert regions. Similarly for the animals also. So depending upon the climatic conditions, the plants and the animals, you can see differences in them, right? You can see different types of plants and animals in different regions because of the climatic conditions. Also children, we saw the definition of adaptation. So in the next session, children, we will see more adaptation in the plants. Till then, goodbye.